Florida habitability law explained what landlords are required to provide. In Florida's rental market, few legal concepts are as important or as frequently misunderstood as habitability. At its core, habitability law defines the minimum standards a rental property must meet to be considered livable. For landlords, it establishes a legal baseline for property conditions. For tenants, it outlines the right to safe and functional housing. In fast-moving rental markets like Pinellas County, where aging homes meet rising tenant expectations, habitability has become a central issue in both property management and legal compliance. What habitability means under Florida law. Florida's habitability requirements are rooted in the state's landlord-tenant statutes. These laws require landlords to maintain rental properties in a condition that is safe, sanitary, and fit for occupancy. While the law does not provide a single checklist labeled habitability, it outlines clear responsibilities that collectively define it. Landlords must comply with applicable building, housing, and health codes and maintain the structural integrity and essential systems of the property. If local codes do not specify certain standards, the law still requires landlords to keep key elements in good repair. Core responsibilities of landlords. Florida law places several specific obligations on landlords to ensure a property remains habitable. Structural integrity. Landlords must maintain the roof, walls, floors, windows, doors, and foundation in a condition that protects occupants from the elements and ensures safety. Plumbing and running water. Rental properties must provide functioning plumbing, including access to hot and cold running water. Electrical systems. Electrical wiring and systems must be safe and operational, free from hazards that could pose a risk to tenants. Heating. While heating is less critical in Florida than in colder states, any provided heating system must function properly. Pest control. For multifamily properties, landlords are typically responsible for pest control, including rodents and insects, unless otherwise specified. Garbage removal. Landlords of certain property types must ensure proper garbage receptacles and waste removal systems are in place. These responsibilities form the foundation of what makes a rental legally livable. What is not covered by habitability. Habitability standards are often confused with general comfort or cosmetic preferences. The law does not require landlords to provide new appliances, cosmetic upgrades such as fresh paint or modern finishes, non-essential amenities. A property can meet legal habitability standards even if it is outdated, as long as it remains safe and functional. Tenant responsibilities and maintenance. Habitability is not solely the landlord's responsibility. Tenants also have obligations that support property conditions. Tenants are generally required to keep the unit clean and sanitary, use appliances and systems properly, dispose of garbage appropriately, avoid causing damage beyond normal wear and tear. When tenants fail to meet these responsibilities, they may contribute to conditions that fall outside the landlord's control. What happens when a property becomes uninhabitable? When a rental property no longer meets habitability standards, Florida law provides a structured process for addressing the issue. Tenants must typically provide written notice to the landlord describing the problem, allow a reasonable time frame for repairs, often interpreted as 7 days, take further action if the issue is not resolved. Depending on the situation, tenants may have the right to withhold rent, terminate the lease, or pursue legal remedies. However, these actions must follow proper procedures to avoid unintended consequences. Pinellas County considerations. In Pinellas County, habitability issues often arise from the region's environmental conditions and housing inventory. Older homes may face moisture intrusion and mold concerns, outdated electrical or plumbing systems, roof wear from storm exposure. At the same time, high humidity and coastal conditions can accelerate deterioration, making regular maintenance essential. Local enforcement agencies may also play a role, particularly when code violations are reported. Landlords who stay ahead of maintenance tend to avoid both legal issues and tenant turnover. Common misunderstandings. Habitability disputes often stem from unclear expectations. Some of the most frequent misconceptions include assuming cosmetic issues qualify as habitability violations, believing tenants can stop paying rent without proper notice, underestimating the importance of written communication, Failing to respond promptly to legitimate repair requests. Clear lease terms, consistent maintenance practices, and timely communication can prevent most disputes. Conclusion. Florida's habitability law establishes a practical standard. Rental properties must be safe, functional, and compliant with applicable codes. While the law does not require perfection, it does require consistency and accountability. For landlords in Pinellas County and across the state, maintaining habitability is both a legal obligation and a key factor in long-term property performance. For tenants, understanding these standards provides clarity on what can reasonably be expected. In a market where housing conditions, tenant expectations, and regulatory oversight continue to evolve, a clear understanding of habitability remains essential for both sides of the rental relationship.